Chat, peace. Good morning, everybody. I gotta get right in on this one. So, we lost one of the greatest today. Well, I should say yesterday. Prince. He done transcended into the next spiritual realm. And it wasn't like when Prince was on this planet, he wasn't a spiritual person. We can see through his transformation in music that he went from being a regular person into a big music mogul icon. And in that transition, he transformed spiritually. And the reason why I say that is, first of all, when you look at Prince and his transformation when he first came out, a lot of people don't know, and some people do know, that Prince's real name is Roger Nelson. Found that out yesterday. I didn't even know that Prince's real name is Roger Nelson. He came in the music business with that name, and then later on changed that name to Prince. Now anybody that knows about music, and I know music by experience, been in the industry myself for a little bit, had a deal before, and saw the politics of the music industry and how it worked with these contracts and with these music companies. First of all, like I've been telling y'all people, the United States is a corporation. It's a military industrial complex, and it's all about money and commerce and business. And we, the people of America, not the United States, which is the corporation, was turned into artificial constructs or artificial fiction people, which is known as corporations, which in the Black Law Dictionary is known as a person. You have different types of persons. You know what I'm saying? You have a homeowner, you have a voter, you have a licensed driver, you have an officer. You know what I'm saying? Things of this nature are known as, in the United States, as artificial person or corporation. Even a residence is an artificial person. You understand? So I say that to tie it in with the name game that the industrial complex play, because your name is your commerce name. It's the name that you do business under. A lot of people already know this, especially the Moors. The Moors out there that definitely go deep in detail with this whole name game thing. But to tie it in what was going on with Prince and his transformation in music, that's the reason why he changed his name from Prince to the symbol. And if anybody look at that symbol and know about occultic science, you understand, we can see the caduce, or what they call the staff of Tahuti, or what they call the staff of Asclepius, which is the staff with the two snakes and the wings on the top. You understand? Which symbolizes the Kundalini energy, which is inside the body, and the spinal cord and the pineal gland, and the wings symbolizing the spirit. We see that there. Due to knowledge to the symbol that Prince changed his name to. That symbol also symbolizes the polarity of masculine and feminine, man and woman. Matter of fact, the symbol that Prince changed his name to was the symbol of the masculine, feminine, and the masculine, you understand, integrating together, which is the same thing as the caduce. So Prince changing his name to a sign was the symbol of that, and he was saying something, because when he changed his name to that, he was rebelling against his record company, which was Warner Brothers. You understand? They had him in a bind-up contract that he didn't like, which he said himself was a slave contract, and he wanted to get out of it. When he got a chance to get out of it, he changed his name to the artist formerly known as, and the symbol, which is the caduce symbol, or the symbol that symbolizes masculine and feminine intertwining with each other. You understand? So he changed his name because he knew that he didn't own that name Prince. It was a name that the record company, Warner Brothers, gave him his commerce name that he did business with them through. So all you guys that's getting record contracts, they're just corporate slaves, because when you sign a contract or record contract, you have to put down your social security number. So they tap into the trust fund of that corporate fiction that they create. You understand? And that's how they get their money from you, and you go in debt to them. You understand? Which puts you in a slave status, position, which you have no rights. So when you sign a contract, you're signing over your rights. You understand? They own you. You're a slave to them, and Prince knew that. And he got out of that burdensome or slave contract, and when he did, he changed the name. That's why he didn't go no longer known as Prince anymore. You understand? And then he took over his record catalog. You understand? A lot of these artists don't own their record catalog. The only people that I know was Michael Jackson and Prince. Ray Charles was going for his. We saw that in the Ray movie. You understand? So certain artists knew what was up with that. So they knew if you owned your music catalog, that you had more control and power. I think Jay-Z did the same thing of trying to own his masters. You see, the master, the slave. You understand? You see the symbolism of master and slave. The record company owns the catalog, and they hold the masters, so they are the master, and you're the slave because you signed the contract. You signed your rights over to them and put yourself in a slave position or status. You understand? Prince knew these things. You understand? And he came out of that contract, getting his masters and his estate, which was known as the Paisley Park Estate. You understand? So he had the same thing going on like Michael Jackson did. They owned land, they owned property, and they owned their music catalog, and it was worth a lot of money. And these record companies wanted to get back in control and power over these people. And these people like Michael Jackson and Prince, who were smart businessmen, fought and refused to let them take over them and control them and be slaves to them. You understand? So Prince, I found out by just doing a little bit of searching and putting a little bit of my logic and reasoning together, you understand, and letting my spirit guide me into right knowledge, and found out that Prince was going back into a deal with Warner Brothers. After he left the slave master, he was going back to the slave master with another record deal. And this was the good time for Warner Brothers to get him back into the bind and take over his music catalog and his estate, the Paisley Park Estate. You understand? The man had his own studio. He did his own thing. He was independent. He was sovereign. He exercised his sovereign right and his sovereign status, Prince. You understand? And so, since he was going back into a deal, a contract, which when you look at the word contract through the etymology, you get con, meaning to run game. You understand? To deceive somebody. When you're conning them, you're deceiving them out of something. And track, we know that a tract is a piece of land, real estate, land. And somebody that owns land is a sovereign. You understand? So contract, meaning to con you out of your land, out of your estate. You understand? Prince had an estate. And the record company, Warner Brothers, who's owned by the octopus of music, Sony, because Sony owns all the record companies and all the distribution companies, I should say. Sony, do the research and look who owns Sony and how much, of the record industry they own and they control. It's the same people. You understand? I'm going to do a part 2 to this, and I'm going to tell you who owns Sony and the people that's in charge of Sony. But this is why they killed Prince. This is why he died. He died of the flu, and they found him dead in the elevator of his estate. Don't make sense. Prince was fairly a healthy man. I mean, I don't even know his medical records, but when you saw Prince, he didn't look sick. And you know what? A lot of people don't look sick, but be sick.